Logan, Ritlock, and Keith walked among stern-looking warriors who led them from the jail to the arena. Ritlock's wrist was fully healed, but the rift between the man and Char was only partially so. Last night, both fighters had fidgeted and fussed as Logan healed Ritlock. This morning, neither had spoken to the other. They walked a narrow set of winding lanes, with half-timber houses leaning over them. At last, they reached a much-trampled plot of land with the overturned hull of a huge ship in its centre. Many people milled outside the wooden hull, and money changed hands. A few of the people there stared with lurid admiration at Logan, Ritlock, and Keith. "Fresh meat," one man said darkly. Ritlock reached for Sahothin, but, of course, his sword and scabbard were gone. The guards marched them toward a wide, rectangular entrance cut into one side of the overturned hull. The passage was preternaturally dark, shielded by a curtain of magic, but sounds came from within. Feet pounded, voices shouted, swords clanged. Someone screamed. "Are we making a mistake?" Logan asked. "Quite possibly," Keith responded. Ritlock scowled. "You two got any money?" "No," they chorused. Ritlock swept his claws forward. "Then let's go." The three strode among their guards through a mystic curtain. They emerged into a gigantic space, a huge arena carved into the ground. Rows of stone benches descended toward a broad, sandy arena. Warriors practiced there. To the right, a man and a centaur faced off. To the left, an ogre battled a char. In one spot, a team of gorilla-like Grawl assaulted a pair of scaly Skrit. "This must be the place," Logan said. "This is the place," responded a new voice. Sangjo emerged from one of the nearby archways and glided placidly toward the trio. "Welcome to the arena." Alright, welcome. My god, my prep and setup for today has gone really quickly, so I'm scared I'm forgetting something. But welcome, guys. Bract is back, and we got a pretty intense episode on our hands here. We've got the calm before the storm in terms of Lion's Arch shenanigans and issues that will be coming up. So our story journal, as a member of the Order of Whispers, we're on the step Suspicious Activity. And so this is what the situation is. I've just reported back to headquarters, and I've been promoted to Lightbringer. Yay. Our next mission is to find a possible double agent, Yang Eisen, before he turns traitor. He hasn't reported in some time, and the Order suspects that he's betrayed them. So, yeah, pretty simple. There's the dodgy guy. He's the Beastmaster for the Lion's Arch Arena, and was in a good position, but may have flipped. And yeah, there's not really much else to say except the fact that we're obviously a Lightbringer. And I think I already mentioned, but Lightbringer was a title you could earn amongst the Order of Whispers, even in the original game too. So we're going to walk through Lion's Arch here to get to where Yang is. This, of course, is modern-day Lion's Arch, so not much of it is relevant for the story right now. But I did want to point out this little pit here, which exists not only now, but also back in the year 1325. We will see this in the past version, as it was when the game originally came out, and things are looking a little bit different there. But this mini arena here is obviously not the main Lion's Arch arena. There are theories that it could have been a now scrapped feature from pre-release, where they might have added Polymorph or mini pet battles or something to the game. But you'll also notice that the way that this wall is built, it's supposed to be a reference to the company logo for the game company that makes the game, ArenaNet. There are actually a ton of different references to ArenaNet right there, and I'll give you some more when we return here in the past later on. But yeah, so we're going to walk through. I got some little bits of trivia I want to show you guys and talk about as we travel through these areas of Lion's Arch we haven't seen. One of them being that windmill up there.
Yes? Oh. Hi.
Wow, that Norn lady did not seem very excited to see us. So, yeah, first of all, there is a hidden jumping puzzle here. Again, we're not going to play it. There is that series I've already talked about if you guys want to find it. But this is one of my favorite jumping puzzles to exist in terms of how it's hidden in the game. I think it's fantastic. So there's an Asura here called Broca.
We are the knife in the darkness.
who is a member of the Order of Whispers and talks about being the knife in the darkness, a bit scary. But yeah, so you get this building, right? We can't go into it, we can't open the door or anything. But if you sneakily climb on the hay bales to the right of the building, then onto this, you will notice you can get into their back garden. And the back garden doesn't seem to have much going on, but there's a bush in the back garden, and sneaking through the bush in the back garden leads to like a field out the back, and then the field out the back leads to a bush at the back of the field if you can climb all the way up the slope, which is a bit weird. But in here you'll see another bush. You can go through the other bush and you find another, and it goes and goes and goes until eventually you find this huge area of the map called the Sharkmoor Caverns, which has got brilliant voice acting where there's a ghost of an old pirate that's leading you through. It's just generally a brilliant jumping puzzle. I'm now going to jump down into this water here. And I really thoroughly recommend you guys either watch the video I did on it or play it for yourself. But for us, we're going to keep traveling along. And as you'll notice, our story step is actually taking place just here north. Really, these are the outskirts of the city more than anything else. And we'll do a deeper dive into a lot of these regions a bit off in the future. Up here is the mower racing, which I talked very briefly about on one of our trips through the city as we were headed to the Dermot Priory, which is in those caves over there. In fact, could we see it over there? You can't mow a race here anymore because the tricks are still quite young. But we can speak to Tig, who looks after the mowers. He says, "What's your step? My future little racers here are a bit clumsy, especially without any older mowers to help reassure them." We won't get into some massive conversation with him because he's going to talk about future storyline stuff that's not so relevant. But the reason I wanted to go on this huge walk here is finally to enter this building. Now, we've walked past it a few times, but this is a very important place that I think is such an interesting snapshot of MMO development and like this game's history. This is known as the Guild Initiative Headquarters. And for the first time, we're going to walk inside. So, back when Guild was... So, when we walk up to the entrance of this, what you'll notice is that the various guilds I'm a member of in Guild Wars 2, and remember, I've already told you that you can be in more than one guild in this game. I get a drop-down list representing all of them. So I'm going to pick this one here, the Spud Club. This is the Wood and Potatoes Guild, and I'm going to go into this. And what you'll notice here is this is a building that essentially functions as a community hall for my guild, for all of the members of this community, where we can sit around, we can meet with one another, we can talk about things and have fun. The funny thing about this building, though, is it never existed back when the game originally came out, because the guild features, way back when, weren't that well fleshed out. And so, when it was finally dropped into the game, that also happened to be at the same moment of the first expansion, called Heart of Thorns. And a headlining feature of Heart of Thorns was fully fledged guild halls. So, what I'm telling you is that out here, in this area of the world with all these crazy high-level maps where the first expansion was located, all these different zones we can explore, some of these areas are guild halls. So, a really weird thing happened, in that the devs have got a feature in the game, this place here, the Guild Initiative Headquarters, for guilds to meet up and hang out and have fun with one another. But really, there's been no point in time ever for this MMO where there have been large communities who really used it for that purpose, because by the time it was added, so were the fully fledged guild halls, and everyone just went and used the fully fledged guild halls instead. And so you might think, well, what's the point in that then, Wood and Potatoes? Why did they add this at all? And the reason is that this is for, in theory, if you have an entire guild of different players playing this MMO who are all free-to-play accounts, who don't have any of the expansions, and they're purely just experiencing the game, which you can totally do. I told you right at the start of this series, you get access to basically the entire core of the game. Everything that you've seen on this Let's Play so far is totally free to play. It's just you get various limits on you to make sure that bots don't run rampant throughout the game, based on like the way you can chat and use the trading post and whatnot. So in theory, if you have an entire guild of free-to-play players, this would be their location. But I think basically what happens with Guild Wars is people get in as a free-to-play account, and as the devs probably want, people are like, oh, I want to actually pay for this, I want to buy it, I want to go to the expansions, and those kind of communities I've never heard of actually existing. There are very rare reasons.
For an adventure in the sands of Ilona?
There you go. So this guy says here, there are a couple of reasons why you might want to come here. These NPCs here will talk about the expansions and try to lead you to those guilds. So this may not be the only time we ever visit this place, but it's a really fun location. Like, there's a candle here which you can interact with. It says, this candle holder seems a little loose.
You look like you're ready to be famous.
You hear a click and hear it from a hidden mechanism, and the bookshelf begins to move. And sneaky, this is so typical of Bract, right? We can find like a hidden area underneath with a vault, which doesn't lead anywhere or do anything. I'm not quite sure what the idea here is, but there's all kinds of fun little things here. And this is our first opportunity really to learn about the guild initiative. These are the guys that are organizing those missions and bounties we've been seeing as we travel around the world when a guild just comes charging past us in various episodes.
Don't forget your paperwork and your sword.
It's basically all happening from here. And the leader of the guild initiative, it's this guy here, Dougal Keane.
Be careful out there.
He says, hello, adventurer. I'm Dougal Keane, head of the guild initiative. What can I do for you today? This guy I mentioned like 2 videos ago. This is the guy that used to sell all the dungeon gear to us, but now he works here. Tell me about the Guild Initiative. The Initiative is an arm of the Tyrian Explorers Society. We operate with the endorsement of the 5 major nations of Tyria and the Captain's Council here in Lion's Arch. What's the Tyrian Explorers Society, we say? And he says the society is a group of cartographers, adventurers, and wanderers. They've made it their purpose to create a complete map of Tyria. So we could have already heard from the group of cartographers, by the way. So Bract started the game in Metrica Province, right? And we have waypoints we can get here. We have vistas, points of interest, all of that kind of stuff. Now, if you mouse over Metrica Province, you'll see it's got a completion bar. 30% complete. This is a mechanic I talked about way back at the start of the series. If we got 100% in Metrica Province, if we mapped everything out and found everything that was interesting about it, which would take a long time, the Cartographers Guild would send us a mail and say, hey, good job. They'd talk a little bit about Metrica Province, and they'd give us some reward. It's like way too much to do all of that everywhere on every map for the purpose of this Let's Play. But yeah, that's the Cartographers Guild, and one branch of them is these guys, the Guild Initiative. We could also ask him how the initiative is formed, but that's kind of spoilers for the end of this story. So, yeah, we're not going to go into too much detail, but I wanted to show it off because it is, at the end of the day, core Tyria content. When we get to the expansions in this series, I won't be showing this building off. I will be showing the guilds off. So it only makes sense that I show this off now while, you know, it's the relevant thing. And we can climb all the way up. And there's even an exit back out into Lion's Arch up here, which takes you out onto this very cool balcony that I think most players don't even really know exists. Look at this. And you're sort of super high up. You can walk on this gangplank and possibly fall and seriously hurt yourself, which is a bit of a problem for me. So I'm going to slide down the roof. Come on, Brack, don't die. Okay, good. We're fine. So yeah, there you go. That took a lot longer to explain than I was expecting. I thought we'd be dealing with Yang already by now, but whatever, it's fine. It's not a big deal. So we're gonna come over to this building here. This building is completely unchanged through the years, and you'll notice this when we load into Old Lion's Arch in a second. We'll be fine. You also notice, by the way, Bract is looking a little bit different. I figured since we were going to be all stealthy and sneaky and stuff.
Doing sweeps. Ashblade is causing a stir. I don't know how much longer I can...
The day you snitch is the day you die.
I understand, but just think about it. I'm taking a big risk here.
No deal.
But...
I said no. Now move along.
Well, damn. I actually have no idea what they're talking about there, but it seems like there's some shady dealings going on. Yes, you'll notice Bract looks different. I figured since we've come to Lion's Arch and we're going to be going incognito, we may as well change our gear a bit and not be a blatant member of the Order of Whispers. So we are wearing the Caudicus's Manor rewards right now. We're fully decked out in it, so we get the Council Watch shoulder guards.
Right, yeah, sorry.
Wow, that guy is just not leaving over there. Finally, he's leaving. We get the Council Watch shoulder guards, and also we get Golden Wing gear. So you get the Golden Wing pistol, the Golden Wing shield,
Told you.
which I think might be a Guild Wars 1 reference. And I even have the Golden Wing rifle as well. So this is all, I guess, separatist, human-ish themed stuff. And it's all from Caudicus Manor. So I think we're looking pretty cool. I do want to go back to pistol shield, so we're going to equip that. And yeah, let's get in now and deal with Yang. Suspicious activity. All right. So we have to meet Tibble at Yang Ison's estate. You can see it's got all old-timey and stuff. To look back now, Tibble might speak to us, so let's just say hi to him first before I go off with even more trivia.
The door was locked when I got here. Good thing I was raised Iron Legion.
Oh, you're gonna pick the lock? Oh, an Iron Legion Char in the Order of Whispers. That works so well. He did. He picked the lock. Good job, dude.
No sign of Yang. You check the top floor. I'll head for the basement.
Okay, Tibble. But yeah, if we look over there now, guys, you'll see that it all looks very different. The Guild Initiative headquarters is just a small building now. Over there, things look different. It's because we are back in old Lion's Arch. In fact, if we are really, really shrewd with our eyes here, you might notice that even over there looks totally different now. And that's some old pirate bridges and things. Right, okay, let's go on in to this outback place. Oh, and even better as well, by the way, look at this. This is an exit to Lion's Arch that no longer exists. It used to be you could walk out of this to reach Gendaran Fields, and that would be your main route to places like the Priory, but that doesn't exist anymore. I wonder what happens if I walk through this in the instance. I've got to try this. What happens? Oh, we just walked through and it's deactivated. Anyway, yeah, that's an old exit to the map that doesn't even exist anymore. Okay, cool. All right. Trivia's done. I promise. Let's go. Yang, hello. You're not turning. I mean, we gotta be sneaky because he could have turned tail, right? So we gotta be watch out. So Tybalt's down in the basement. Hi, Tybalt. Well, it looks a bit ruinous down here. He says, you check upstairs. We need to find some sign of Yang's whereabouts and whether or not he left willingly. So I really like what the instance does here, by the way. You'd expect we're the heroes, so we always find and solve all the problems, right? That's just the way that games go. So, what have we got? Well, there seems to be some kind of a book. Maybe we should read that. Here's a bed. It says, the bed's been slept in recently. It's unmade. Noted. Here we've got a dresser. The wardrobe contains heavy leather clothing, the kind mercenaries and animal keepers wear. Noted as well. And now we get the book. This ledger contains a detailed list of creatures for the arena. Right, we're definitely in the right place. There is one column for creatures captured and another for creatures sold. Okay, so what kind of stuff has he captured for the arena? Lately, Yang captured rock dogs, breeze risers, and skelk. The last capture was from a few days ago, but no creature type is listed. Huh, so he caught a totally new one. So what creatures has he been selling? There's only one very recent entry. A variety of gravelings from Ascalon. I love this, guys, because in the timeline, Ghost of Ascalon has now happened. So the Dermot Priory is in there looking around with the explorable stuff. And I love the thought that they've been exporting some out of the dungeon. Yang bought some or sold them. Wait, who would he sell them to, though? Who would he sell gravelings to? Huh. All right, so that doesn't actually help us much, does it? I thought we were the hero.
Lightbringer, I think I found something.
Oh, see? So I love the way they do that. Tybalt is useful, guys. He's the one that actually figures out what we gotta do. Hey, dudes, what have you found?
There's a tunnel beyond this pile of rocks. Help me clear it and we'll see where it goes.
All right, so there's a collapsed tunnel back here, which we gotta do some damage to. So we're gonna shoot our way through. Generally, Tybalt will do a lot more damage here because we are on pistol again, which is more condition-oriented, but we can break it. Good job. Double engineers. Go into a house. We're supposed to be stealthy and we end up blowing things up. Brilliant.
This place is a mess. Yang always took care of his animals. Something's gone very wrong.
Oh, because Tybalt, actually, I guess you kind of knew you.
I feel as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Stick close to me, okay?
Do cats not like rocking chairs? Is that a thing, guys? Please take a second to pause the video and tell me. Is that a thing? Cats don't like rocking chairs? Look at this place. He could have decorated more, though. A mechanical what's it here, a superfluous flower pot there, a few tapestries with the Order of Whispers emblem on it. Oh, wait. So what's this? So there's dead rock dogs behind a collapsed wall? This doesn't look good. So he's been... Oh, did you guys hear that? Oh, okay, they're just crazed rock dogs attacking us now. I thought it was something a lot more scary there, but that's fine. I mean, this is kind of bad. Looks like they've gone a bit mental without him. Shouldn't these be caged up? Shouldn't these be, you know, in some protected enclosure for arena battles? Oh, dear.
Yang Ison used to put on big gladiatorial contests with his beasts. I heard he even sponsored a few of the old Destiny's Edge bouts. This must be where Yang kept his monsters. He took really good care of them. Better than his employees, that's for sure.
No sign of him, though. Would he abandon all these animals to starvation?
No way. Like I said, Yang liked animals better than he liked people. He was always looking for new creatures to train. I wouldn't be surprised if he finally found something he couldn't tame.
Very possible. Maybe something in the cages will give us a clue to what's happened to him.
Oh my god, even more shaking and scary things. Yeah, so here we got some basilisks. Have we seen any basilisks in the series yet? They're generally pretty squishy, but they have like this petrify laser beam attack.
They're running from something. Whatever's back there, it's meaner than they are.
Yeah, okay, so something's scaring all of these out. I mean, Bract is smart. All these explosions in this tiny room is crazy. Bract is smart. He knows that something mysterious was bought. Look, a Sylvan Hound! It's running off. Devourers? We've got Skelk fleeing. Some of these are hostile, some are not. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of things running away from something in there that we saw on the manifest Yang has bought. Let's start pushing into them, because they might just keep flowing at us. Broken open cages. I just want to get as much detail out of this cave as possible, because it's very rare you can come in here. So more broken cages. There's a moa, a raven, some devourers. My god, so many creatures. Destroyers. Wow, and these destroyers are fleeing. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm going to blow up my supply crate there. Oh, we got breeze riders as well. The chamber's opened up a little bit here as well, so we can zoom out more, but it is very dark. What else is this? There's, oh my god, these are busting out of these gates. Skelk, scale, more basilisks. How many things did Yang have? This is crazy. I can see why this outpost has to be on the outskirts of Lion's Arch rather than right central to the city, because you can't have these kinds of beasts everywhere. Another closed pen, not much going on. Tibble. Look at the... Oh, no, he still has the same dialogue. More stuff. A Dolyak fleeing. Oh, my God. Even more creatures. I'm going to charge forward now a little bit more. I wonder how many different varieties of creature that there actually are here that can come running against you. How's a Dolyak going to fit through that tiny little collapsed road there? My goodness. Still moving deeper. Oh, God. Here it is. So, a dark room with a single light in the middle over a body. Identify the corpse.
That's him. It's Yang Eisen. Wow, he's seen better days. He was killed recently. Be careful. Whatever it was, it might still be there. Over there.
And what do we have? How many of you guys will have guessed this already? So, if you remember that Dermond Priory, right now in the timeline, found one of these. It's a risen ghostly creature. We should recognize this, guys. It's a scout from War. And Yang foolishly bought this freaking thing, or got wound up with it. He got killed by it. This thing, by the way, is so deadly, it's able to kill, scare away those destroyers, which is kind of amazing, and shows the Elder Dragons fight against one another. He did a lot of condition damage to us as well. And down it goes.
It's Orion. That monster was from Or. It can't be. Not here. Not in Lion's Arch.
Calm down. Have you seen one of those before?
It's really rare. Some kind of special scout. I read about the only other sighting of one when I worked the file rooms. Lightbringer. That operative saw it in Port Stalwart just before Zaitan's minions wiped out the town. Zaitan only sends them when he's about to send in his whole army. Lion's Arch is in danger.
Tybalt, are you absolutely sure about this?
Trust me. We need to warn the Lion Guard. Meet me at their fortress on Claw Island, and let's hope we're not too late.
What's on Claw Island?
The Claw Island fortress stands in the harbor of Lion's Arch. It's the last defense against invasion from the sea. If Zaitan's going to attack the city, its minions will have to fight their way past the fort.
And, well, there you go. So that is how the Order of Whispers find out about what's going on. And this one's actually kind of cool because Tybalt recognizes straight away exactly what's going on, and he moves toot sweet over there. We got another level up. So here for level 68, we got this item here. It's exotic quality. It's called a glob of ectoplasm, and you can see that it's a crafting material. Globs of ectoplasm were Guild Wars 1 items as well. They were crafting materials for some of the rarest, most exclusive gear in the game. When the sequel came out, the devs decided to make it also a very prominent currency, and basically you use ectos to craft anything that's worth anything in the entire game. So it's a very well-traded currency. And in fact, we get information here. It says that you can get globs of ectoplasm by salvaging rare and exotic gear that is level 68 or higher, which is the level we just got. The globs can be used to purchase Ascended accessories and to create very high-level crafting goods. Ascended stuff I haven't talked to you guys about just yet, but that's like the highest tier of gear in the game. So, for most players, ectoplasm is what it's all about, gathering this, and it's kind of a nod back to the fact that was sort of true in Guild Wars 1 as well, where it became a currency amongst players for different reasons, but pretty cool. Also, we got a lot stronger.
Rare and valuable.
So that's great. And yeah, so here's the body. Can you hear it whispering, by the way? Listen to how creepy stuff from Ore is. Listen to this. Oh, it's so... Oh, it's just freaky, man. Okay, so...
Report.
Fill me in again, Tibble. I'm not going to lie, Brack. This spooks me. Think about what happened with the Ichnew and the Hylic. What if that happened in Lion's Arch? Oh my god. What? So, like, they all get attacked and wiped out? We won't let that happen. What's Claw Island? A Lion Guard fortress, created as a first line of defense against an Aurian invasion. They need to know what's going on. It belongs to the Lion Guard? Yeah, watch Commander Talon runs the operation. He's a tough son of a cuss, but ever loyal to Lion's Arch. They're both Char, maybe they know each other. You've seen one of these before? Seen? No, but I read about it in my research as an analyst before I ventured in the field. Remember, he was stuck as an analyst for ages before they finally let him out. We should hurry. I'll see you at the fortress. Okay, yeah, I'll see you there. And that is our little insight there into what was going on. Unfortunately, Yang Eisen is taken out, and the Claw Island arc begins. So, some of you guys will be wondering something now. How does Claw Island change now that we are with the Order of Whispers and Tybalt? And, well, I'll show you. First of all, also, some of you really sneaky-eyed viewers, I saw you in the comments, noticed I did this. There is a Mariner plaque here, right near the entrance to the instance, which we haven't looked at so far. And it says this: here lies the wreckage of the Pride, once captained by Kabaya Mariner, and the remains of the Moor, an undead Leviathan. Now, this is actually referring to what? It says here lies the wreckage. Well, there is no wreckage. You can swim. There's no wreckage. So what is this? This plaque is actually referring to the wrecks of the two ships we find off the shore in Claw Island. It's just that because you can only visit Claw Island in the story, and then it gets overrun and destroyed by undead and you can't go back, the devs had nowhere really to put this plaque, so they just throw it in Lion's Arch near where you enter the instance, which is a bit of a sad situation to be in. But yeah, and they have to do this because this is a part of an achievement to find them all. So if a player beats the Claw Island instance but doesn't get the plaque while they're there, then they're screwed out of it, and the devs don't want to force you to make a new character. Other gaming companies might do that, but ArenaNet don't, so they just throw it randomly here in Lion's Arch for you. But it's referring to the two ships I gave you as trivia there a while ago. So, the Battle of Claw Island. Let's see how things change. And I can tell you, don't get your hopes up. Alright, guys. Hey, Tibble.
The creature we found hadn't been in Lion's Arch long. We may still have time. We have to find the Watch Commander and convince him to ready the defenses.
He says this fortress is huge. I've never seen it up close before. Maybe? Nah, who am I kidding? There isn't a ready for this place. The Orions wouldn't be attacking if they didn't think they could swarm this island. We'd better hurry. We're much more on the ball than the Priory was here. Much more.
I smell something odd. Do you smell it?
Smell? No. But the back of my neck keeps itching for some reason.
I don't like this. Something's definitely wrong.
Thank you for meeting with us, Watch Commander Talon. We have grave news. One of Zaitan's minions breached the city. We destroyed it, but the creature was likely scouting for a much bigger force. An attack is imminent.
Tybalt Leftpaw? It is you, my friend. I should have known your order would be aware of the danger.
Cogs and gears, it's Traherne. We're lucky you're on the island. Convince this guy that we're serious. First, let me introduce you to my partner. One of the truest and most loyal friends I've ever had. Lightbringer, this is Traherne, one of the Sylvari Firstborn. He's Tyria's foremost scholar on Zaitan and Ore, and a friend of the Order. Look at me, Traherne. I'm out and about on a mission.
A field agent at last. Congratulations, Tybalt. I know how much you wanted that.
You should get out from under all those books and join us. You're starting to look all wilted. It's good to see you, my friend.
We'll be ready to fight the Orions. Don't doubt that. Check on Deputy Mira. She's in charge of the beach patrols.
The Lion Guard don't understand. This won't be a sortie. It'll be a massacre.
Welcome to Beach Patrol.
The most dangerous duty on Claw Island. That wasn't much of a fight. Traherne, I thought you said the attack would be significant.
We did it! It's sinking!
A small victory. By the gods, there's so many of them.
Keep your courage up!
Watch yourselves. That creature's breath attack would corrupt you.
Infuriate!
My eyes! I can't see. My Cormier.
Alright, so here we are again, and as you can see, Claw Island's fate is pretty much set in stone. Everything pretty much happens the same way. Tybalt has some different insights, and as we flee through the gate, you can guess what's coming.
Dragon's servants will never let our ship sail. If they surround the docks, they'll slaughter us. Zaitan's forces will grow.
Our soldiers are too injured to fight. They can barely walk. We can't form a defense and still get them all aboard.
I haven't always lived bravely. I think I'd like to die that way.
What? Tybalt, what are you planning?
After I lost my hand, I joined the Order of Whispers, because the Jar thought I was useless. Nobody needs a shaky engineer. I said I wanted to fight the dragons, and I did. Then I spent 6 years as a researcher, never facing my fears. Never even trying. Nobody believed I had courage, not even me. And then you came along. You trusted me then, my friend. I need you to trust me now. I can do this. Go! There's no time to argue. Just believe in me. I've done a lot of things wrong in my life, but this one thing, I'm gonna do right. I won't let you have them.
Mira is in bad shape. You'll have to cut a path for us. Lion Guard, follow me. Hurry, to the ships!
God, I love Tybalt's last line there, I won't let you have them. He seems so vicious there at the end. But yeah, so he's doomed, just as Siren was doomed. He goes, he holds the gate, he is responsible for saving us and getting us and Deputy Mira and Traherne off of the island. And his reasons are a little bit different. We hear a bit more about his hand, and that may have been the reason he was kicked out of his warband, that he couldn't really do anything in the Iron Legion without it. But we helped him find courage, and, you know, right up to the end, really, the Order of Whispers still didn't seem to believe in him very much. They might even think this is a bit of a foolhardy move of his. Yeah, Tybalt is no more, I'm afraid. This will probably be one of those situations where you as a player, whichever order you do first, the death hits you hardest. So maybe if you were a Priory member first, you may feel that Siren's was sadder. If you feel that, if you played Whispers like me, you may find that Tybalt's was sadder. Generally, Tybalt kind of captures people's attention more than any other in the game, I think, personally. But I may be wrong on that. And yeah, unfortunately, our friend says goodbye. The attack on Lion's Arch continues. But it's not all the same, because now, as a member of the Order of Whispers, we're not going to be messing around with any silly Balthazar idols when a threat to the city rears its head. All right, we're back. We're back at LA under threat of imminent attack. And our next instance here is reconnaissance to regroup with the other Order of Whispers operatives. So we do get a mail. Whispers in the Dark, it says, Special Ops. By decoding a complex pattern of obscure marks, we read the following message. That all available operatives have been recalled, effective immediately, and are meant to meet in Lion's Arch near the sewers exit in the Agora. Now, remember, as a member of the Order of Whispers, so we're going to come back over here. When we first came to Lion's Arch, we did hear about an Order of Whispers base that was behind a secret wall at the back of the Captain's Council. It was where we met Minister Wee's wife. Lady we. I don't know why I went such a roundabout way of describing her. It's where we saw that guy Ben 10 Strikes and Demi Beetleson and all of that was going on. So the Order of Whispers obviously do have their position here in Lion's Arch. And yeah, it seems that they've really galvanized. The second that this has happened, it seems pretty scary. And it's kind of weird. We're at that moment again where we're sort of alone. It's pretty sad. Our next job to speak to Dern Velasquez. So let's see what we get. This is happening at the exact same moment that Gix has arrived in Lion's Arch 2 with the Balthazar idol. I will say, by the way, about that other stuff going on right now in this area of the city while we're in the center. I missed a couple of things on that episode. Number one, you know, we were talking about the Balthazar idol, and I said, oh, in one of the stories, your father can have been dealing with that. I don't know what happened to my brain, but we did pick that story. I went on this whole conversation about how, oh, but I thought we'd do the other one instead. It was all one the same. I honestly have no idea how so quickly that fell out of my head. But yeah, we did pick the story. So we saw everything to do with the Balthazar. We saw it with the Separatists. We saw it fall into Gix's hands. We saw our father go missing. That was all correct. The other thing that was really cool is, you remember the Lich that we find? There's a Lich right now in Lion's Arch as we speak. Thaddeus Ghostwright. Interesting little bit of trivia about him. It was said a guy called Thaddeus wrote some of the original lore we got for the entire franchise. The Prophecies manuscripts, the original thing that you get boxed with the physical edition of the game. The guy that wrote some excerpts of that was supposedly Thaddeus. So I think that what Guild Wars 2 was doing was hinting that that Lich was a now corrupted version of that lore chronicler from way back in the first game. It's not 100%, but they have the same name, and Thaddeus the Lich says, oh, I once, you know, documented the histories of Tyria. So that was some cool trivia that, unfortunately, I never really threw out in that episode. And, you know, he sounded really weird with that human voice. Turns out, back at release, he had a Lich voice, but it was a writer's strike that occurred in, like, 2015 or something, that the original voice actor kind of pulled his work from the game, I guess, or something. So the devs had to redo it, and when they redid it, they didn't realize the context for the new voices, so they didn't apply the undead voice filter to it, and thus we now, in 2018, play Guild Wars 2 where Thaddeus, this potential reference to a guy from the Guild Wars 1 manuscripts, now doesn't sound like a Lich even though he's supposed to. It's because of a writer's strike. So there's tons of cool little bits of trivia from that episode that I just completely skirted around or missed to tell you guys, so there you have it. Right, that was the Priory side of things though. What's going on over here with Whispers? Well, check it out. We are back in the courtyard now, where we saw, Destiny's Edge met up all that time ago. This is the great statue, and you can see all the various races gathered around it. Lots of NPCs that otherwise we wouldn't really see. Some of them are crying, some of them are upset. And while the Demon Priory's instance was kind of taking place near the old ruins of the old throne and White Mantle Castle and stuff, here we're in very, very central areas for the Order of Whispers, where there's a lot of townsfolk for us to bounce back and forth from. Check it out. We get some Lion Guard, merchants, workers, a child here, Drakehound. Obviously, we don't want any harm to fall to these people. And here's a captain. What are you doing out here, citizen? What's going on, we say? And she says, Lion's Arch is in full lockdown. The stores are shuttered, a sewer gate shut down. We must evacuate. Okay, I'll hurry out of the city. We will lie. Because, of course, they know that Claw Island has fallen. And everyone's feeling a little bit desperate. Moving down.
We need help locking down the southwestern beach. Let's move!
Agent Real, is the Commodore aware of the situation?
He is, sir. The city's being evacuated in accordance with the Master of Whispers' plan.
Excellent. Now then, are we all assembled?
Right, okay, I don't quite want to go down there because I think it will trigger a cutscene. I want to point out something so awesome about this instance here. Look at the characters we have. So there were Lion Guard guys that charged off. There's, Dern is here, obviously. Demi is here. Traherne, what a legend, he's come. Halvor is here. Real's here. But look at these other guys, and Valens. It's Korakan the Blacksmith. It's Kai. It's Agent Batanga. These guys were the Order of Whispers agents from the Chapter 3 storylines. And those are characters that in some of the other orders you never really get to see again. But here for the Order of Whispers, they come back. So Batanga, remember we did it? Brack spent a lot of time with Batanga. Tyrek spent a lot of time with Korrakun. Cariflower spent a lot of time with Kai. So, yeah, this is kind of fantastic. Let's move on in and speak to them. Okay, it didn't trigger a cutscene. Cool. So Kai says, I'm glad to see you here. It was wise of the Preceptors to include your talents on this mission. We'll protect the city from this. Everyone's been recalled here. Everyone. It's Batanga. When they said you were at Claw Island, I feared the worst. Poor Tybalt. Poor, brave Tybalt. I know, right? The Order's lost one of our best. I'll make sure he's remembered. I hope you guys understand that Tybalt was actually cool and none of you valued him properly. The Dragon of All will die, I swear it. I'm going to go with this. We'll tell the others of his sacrifice, she says. Here's Korrakun the Blacksmith. Good to see you here. We'll need your courage. Thank you. Here we get a character we haven't met yet. Agent Ifwin. She says, are you sure you're up for such a dangerous duty after Claw Island? Wow, interesting. Nothing could keep me from it. We got Ihan of the humans. They say the Battle of Claw Island was fierce. I'm glad to see that you're safe. I did the best I could. It doesn't feel like we accomplished very much, though. Traherne, we must attend other matters. First, speak to Dawn, please. Demi, blessed Lissa, so many dead! We have to keep the city under control. Just keep your cool and do as the Preceptors command. So Whispers, we get to see more of the social sides of this, I think, in the, you know, actually calming down the civilians and getting them out. Tybalt used to work for me analysing child politics and customs. I was happy he'd achieved his dream to be an agent, but now... Like, so Valenz is one of these analysts, right? And stays around. Tybalt wanted to become a field agent. He was able to because of us, and now he's dead. He died on his own terms. But still, I feel a little bit guilty. Real. So Real was stationed here in Lion's Arch with the Captain's Council, as we know. People are dying everywhere, she says. The Commodore's called out the Lion Guard to evacuate. We need you, Bract. To evacuate? To where? Primarily toward Divinity's Reach and Holbrook. I find this really interesting that she says these two cities above all. We've not seen Holbrook. That's some distant place in the mountains as far as we're concerned. But I guess the idea is really in the lore that they're some of the closest places for people to evacuate to. Holbrook is only just a bit-ish across the mountains. Divinity's Reach is kind of far away. And then the Tarnished Coast is way too remote. And the idea would be the Black Citadel is too remote as well. It's kind of interesting that these two places, above all, these are the first ports of call. I have another question. If the citizens are leaving, who are we protecting exactly? Some people refuse to leave, she says, but we have to get them out of there. Oh, we got to convince them. Who's the Commodore? Commodore Lawson Mariner is the leader of the ship's council, master of Lion's Arch. I serve as his attaché. Does he know you're in the Order of Whispers, we say? And she says, absolutely not. Which puts me in the perfect place to spy and manipulate. I'm glad the Order has agents so high in Lion's Arch. We have met Commodore Lawson Mariner. In fact, that was his mansion up there. We went in there at one point when we originally met Destiny's Edge here in the city. We did speak to him. Halvora says, you're a hard one to kill, Bract. We'll be needing that toughness soon enough. I'll do my best, Preceptor. I love impressing the Preceptors somehow. Okay, Dern. I'm ready. Talk to me, man. What's going on?
Lightbringer, I've heard rumors that Tybalt Leftpaw is dead. Can you confirm?
You'd have been proud of his bravery, Preceptor. If he hadn't stood the line, we wouldn't have escaped.
Tybalt didn't think he had any courage, but he proved himself wrong in the end.
Tybalt's courage saved our lives, and your leadership brought us to safety. I'm in your debt, Lightbringer. If I can be of service, say the word.
I'll never forget Tybalt, but now duty calls. The Lion Guard is evacuating the populace. The Dermond Priory safeguards the harbor, and the Vigil musters at Fort Mariner.
Very well. We need more information. Each Lightbringer will patrol a section of the city for Zaitan's scouts.
I'll take Canal Ward. Undead will be coming out of the sea. If they're sending scouts, I'll find them there.
Good. We need a complete sweep, Lightbringers. Watch for anything strange, but stay alert for danger.
Careful out there, okay? May Lissa watch over you.
Thank you. We will be back soon. My necromantic servants have never been alive. Thus, they are immune to the ravages of ore.
So, everybody teleports off, they all run away, they go to do things. I like how Johan talks a little bit there about how his minions are different to Orions. This is so cool. Okay, so, basically, we're going to be able to explore a section of old LA now that is very, very, very rare. I think this is the one instance where we'll actually be able to do this. One thing I love about what we heard there is in this mission with the Order of Whispers, unlike when we were at the Priory, the Whispers know exactly what's going on in the city. Did you hear? They said the Priory is at the harbor. And we know that. The Lich is there at the Priory. They point that out. They also say that the Vigil is mustering at Fort Mariner, which is over here. So we as Whispers hear about everything that's going on at the same time. When you're Priory, you're not privy to that knowledge. And we really have no idea with what's going on with the Vigil. But I trust that whatever that side of the whole world is, they're doing their best. They're probably the strongest of the lot of us in open arms, obviously. So yeah, I really like that. Tread says, I hope you'll excuse my tagging along. Tibble wouldn't want you alone in this. Thank you. No, I want a friend as well. It is nice that you came along and that you feel indebted to us somehow.
Our ship left without us. We're stranded.
That might be a mercy if Claw Island's gone. They're probably all dead at sea.
Fair point. Let's rough some people up, get their money, and then split town ourselves. Orions! The undead are here! Run!
Oh my god, those are undead over there. I thought they were living people. Wow, so, pirates. I mean, people are a little bit rough in Lion's Arch, let's be honest. We all know it. So, we gotta kind of help these guys out, even though they were suggesting they were going to rob citizens and stuff and take advantage of things. It kind of reminds me of an interesting, well, a sad bit of trivia, really, I heard about.
The area seems clear, Lightbringer. Let's move on.
About the UK during the Blitz and how much crime there was. Basically, as everyone kind of felt like there was a lot of togetherness, there were a lot of people who would really manipulate and do some hellish, horrible things to one another just to get an upper hand while we were being bombed. And I guess in Lion's Arch, a similar thing is going on. They are all ultimately pirates, after all. So you'll see here, we've got lots of different places that we need to patrol. We've patrolled one so far. That's good. I do want to be very careful that we don't miss any NPCs anywhere. Let's come into the bank now.
Thieves! Taking advantage of the city's chaos. We must stop them.
Hang on. These guys aren't Lion Guard. They're just meddlers.
Well then, let's meddle them. This money's ours. No, it can't end this way.
Look at this. They're like, oh, we're going to rob the bank. We're going to do it. And then immediately getting terrified by the Risen. Ow, I forgot Risen hurt. That guy blew up. Jesus. Careful, Bract. Bract has got a lot of damage, but he's not as tanky as Carrot Flower at all.
Well done.
Okay, good. Did the friggin' pirates just run off again immediately? Fine. We still have a starburst here, which worries me a little bit. Oh, no, here you go. So we have to kill this guy.
Excellent. Another area cleared of danger. On we go?
Yeah, I'm glad to go on. So, yeah, this is a little insight into the old Lion's Arch bank here. This literally was you'd walk up to this and get access to your account storage way back when.
Oh, undead. No.
Okay, there's a scared Quaggan running away, but where exactly was that Quaggan? I'm not entirely sure. Nothing really going on here. Now, I'm so tempted to talk about something. Basically, there used to be, maybe we still can, let's have a look. It used to be that in Lion's Arch, if you came up, you can't. If you came up this scaffolding here, up this, like, wooden walkway, you could climb into the heights of the city. And what you realize is there's actually a gangplank above us right now, this one up here, that takes you to all these exciting places.
Please, help us! We got separated from our parents. It's horrible out here. The rotting people are everywhere. Don't let them eat us! Look out! Here they come again!
Zaitan's servants will be approaching by water. Be cautious here.
Okay, oh, there we go. But yeah, unfortunately, that's not a part of this instance. Let's save the children. I believe, by the way, these are the exact same children that were playing Destiny's Edge back when we first got to the city. And they were pretending to be Logan and Zodra and Kaith and stuff. I think they are the same children. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they are. And they used to have all kinds of different fun dialogue. They're not saying anything, they're just crying and sad and upset. We have to be really careful of the water and make sure every single Risen's cleared out. So, I don't see any in that pool there. Moving over, these are the old crafting stations.
The Risen must have traveled through the canals and taken them by surprise.
Okay, so there's more here. Oh my god, there's an abomination. There are abominations fighting the Lion Guard up on the bridge. They're doing a good job holding them off. It looks like there's at least 2 of them over there. Jesus. Okay, so we can take them out. Risen crate here. So I love the thought of Risen crate, by the way. Ow, another friggin' explosion. Risen crate are just so scary to me because the crate themselves are just so violent.
We finished. One more area to check.
I know where the Lion Guard is. I can't trust you. You're a charm. Mama said, trust him. Trust him. He's got muscles. Thank you, stranger. We can make it from here.
What, the young child Char has got muscles, really? I mean, an Asura progeny would say that. A child Char is almost as tall as it is. I'm sure a child Norn would be taller than a fully grown Asura. Absolutely. I like how she admires his muscles. That seems so funny to me. Yeah, so anyway, we want to keep going. I forget, I was in the middle of saying something. People need our help, as we can hear up there, so let's deal with them. Hello, abominations. Jesus, oh my god, and there's lots of okay, we need to get back from that. It's likely he's got a lot of frenzy.
Tear them limb from limb.
Ow! Why are you fleeing? The Norn are just running away. I thought you guys were warriors. Get in here. Be more like air. Give me some of that crazy Norn damage, man. Alright, I'm gonna dodge this. We can just go through his... Ow, and then the other one charged us. This is quite scary. I'm dropping the supply crate. And eating all of our med packs that come down from it.
Well, the walls are secure. We should return to the preceptors.
Just in time. So Lion Guard Daniel there charging out. Alright. That seems perfectly clear. Let's pick up all these turrets now and put those back in our pocket. Doesn't seem like there's anything to patrol over here, even though quite a lot of the instance is available. This is the Black Lion Trading Post Center as well. This is where we first met Steward Gix, of course, during the day when things were a lot happier and people weren't all fleeing the city. So yeah, let's go back to the Preceptors. Seems like a good patrol. Oh, I love how the whispers just appear out of nowhere. They appear to be seen when they want to be seen.
There were creatures in the city, but Traherne and I destroyed them before they did much damage.
Well done, Lightbringer. The other operatives are still finishing up, but I suspect they'll find the same.
Preceptor, it's time to face reality. The Order of Whispers can't be expected to hold back Zaitan alone. We need to exploit our connections.
I agree. Preceptor Dawn, I know you have leverage on many talented individuals. I suggest you put it to use.
Ben Tenstrikes refuses to divulge my whereabouts to my father, so the Ministry has tossed him into prison for his trouble. He'd help us, if he still lives.
I have an alternative, Preceptor. We are currently sheltering an Asuran scientist named Gore. His inventions would be an advantage.
Both are sound plans. Lightbringer, I want you to recruit one of them. Your choice.
Whichever you decide, I'm going with you. You could use the help, and I owe it to Tybalt.
Good luck, Lightbringer. We're all counting on you.
Oh, yeah, I love this so much. So real bowing. I'm sure they're going to disappear now. Yeah, the Preceptors just leave immediately. This is so great. So, first of all, Order of Whispers start talking about exploiting their connections. They should exploit their connections with the other orders, eh? So we get two people here. Let's speak to Traherne first. He says, make your decision and then we'll talk. Okay, fine. Dern's stuck about. Dern, you are such a legend, man. He says, you have two choices. Make one and carry it through. The Order needs you, Bract. So we get Demi, and we get to return to one of the original chapter, what is that, chapter 4 stories? Where, remember Ben Tenstrikes? We had the option to do a mission with him, but we instead transformed Tybalt into a woman and did things our way. So we never really got to know Ben very much. But if we speak to Demi, she'll say, Tybalt would be proud. I think, oh, I miss him so much. Ben Tenstrikes is in trouble? What happened exactly? Ben is an Order agent who helped me escape. My father, the Legate Minister, found out that Ben was involved and locked him up. So, the Legate Minister has a serious grudge against Ben, we can observe. And she says, my father didn't like to be outsmarted. Ben tricked him. So, basically, if we choose this, we will go back to human storyline. It's one of the last, like, major domestic human feeling stories that's around in the game. We'll actually go back to Beetleton, not into the manor itself, but you find out that basically he's been held prisoner there and we can bust him out and he will be our ally. This is just like I said before, who we pick here isn't just like story wise going to affect things in the future. It will mechanically affect the allies and things we have as the game goes forwards. So Ben is a reasonable ally and I like the idea of doing that, and I love that the game has given us the option to explore his story a little bit more. But even better than that, Batanga is back. So this is going to feel really cool and natural because Batanga and Brack know each other very well, and we've talked to her and we've spent lots of time. This thing about Professor Gore being held, we know because we were there for that story. But for a lot of the other orders, you don't get this cool moment where a Chapter 3 thing comes forward so heavily. And Batanga even gets dialogue here. So she says, 10 strikes is capable, but a weapon has more practical and quantifiable use. Gore is an exemplary scientist. He won't let us down. So just to remind you all, Gore was that genius Asura that realized a little deeper what the dragons want. Everyone else is just fussing and dealing with the fact that they're corrupting everything and causing devastation. Gore was looking at what was actually going on with the dragons, and he speculated and realized, he was proved right in the end, that the dragons are consuming magic and that is a primary motivator of them. That's a huge part of this story, that dragons consume magic. It's all because of Gore. And Gore will now take that information and push it even further. Gore, beyond all other brains in Tyria, Gore may have figured out through his theories how to take the fight back against the dragons. So this is such an important story step. Tell me about this weapon he's invented. It operates on the theory that dragons consume magic as they consume flesh and even stone. The weapon hits them in their gullet. I wonder if this is a hint to Primordus, maybe, as he consumes stone to create his destroyers or something. But, yeah, so this weapon hits them in their gullet. We don't really know much, but Batanga has definitely got a good plan. I want to obtain this weapon for the Order. An excellent choice. You'll find Gore at his lab in Ratasum.
Gore is an incomprehensible assemblage of wow wrapped in a 3-foot package. You'll see.
Return soon, Lightbringer. We can keep things safe here, for now.
I like to think that Batanga was talking to Traherne more than anything else there. So we're going home, guys! We're going home! So Wari get to go home. We're going home here as well. So Traherne, thank you for taking the time to talk with me, Bract. I'm grateful for it. I should thank you for your help on Claw Island. I wish I could have done more. It was a travesty. Let me come with you and lend my aid. We'll avenge them, and we'll save the city.
You can't do this alone. I'll stand with you.
Okay, Traherne. We get a new pistol. That's pretty cool. And look how every single NPC, like, gets a move on and hustles off of the scene after we're done with them in this instance. We're just left alone in Lion's Arch now. So, a new weapon with Professor Gore, and we get to return home. That will be next time, guys, for a crucial link in the story of what's to come. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you soon.
I must purchase measuring instruments, preferably Asura-made, before we proceed.
What do we need instruments for? We have our eyes, our ears, our minds. Those are the best instruments. The ocean beckons.
It never hurts to have backup. You can never prepare too much.